So, I figured out this Stride mystery gum. It totally tastes like...
Don't reveal the secret flavor of new Stride Mega Mystery, or we'll find you.
Zip it.
New Stride Mega Mystery, the ridiculously long-lasting gum with a flavor that keeps you guessing.
Stride is a great client because they do push you to make things better every time. When we first came with the script, it was a bulldozer. So the guy was riding a bulldozer through the walls, which the client said, well, I've seen that. And I said, where have you seen that? You know. Then we were like, well, he could ride an elephant. So we had him riding an elephant, which we thought, wow, this is great. We're gonna ride an elephant through a wall. And they were like, yeah, I don't know, an elephant? I've sort of seen, there's been a lot of elephants in ads. So at this point, I feel like, oh God, you know, I'm terrible. I come up with the worst ideas. We said, okay, let's just come up with a bunch. And we wrote probably about 50 different ideas for what could happen to stop this guy from doing. We came up with, well, we could ride ostriches. The client was like, yes, now you've got it. The whole brand is about WTF. That's what the brand's all about. So that was the most WTF thing we could come up with. I've never tried to ride an ostrich. They were live ostriches. It was a fun shoot, and you know, no ostriches were harmed. So that's good. I like to find directors that are off the beaten path. We found this guy named Jack Cole, and Jack Cole had some really great ideas. Shots inside, here's the styling, here's the casting, what it'll be. It'll look like, you know, we wanted it to look like a web video at first, and then kind of when the ostriches break through, do you break away from that, or do you stay on the webcam? We went out to London for 2 weeks, got the ostriches. The ostriches had to be trained for 3 or 4 weeks. All of it is shot on green screen. So we drop a green cloth over the set, and we had each ostrich come in through holes that we had already made in the walls. So everything you see in that spot is sort of a separate element all put together, and it looks pretty amazing. A company can say anything in their ad, but it's the things that you do, so the actions speak louder than the actual ads themselves. And Stride is easy to do that with. We created a bunch of little videos to trick people into thinking that what the flavor was. Each spot is a jingle. It's like a little song for what the flavor is.
Holy lumberjack, you'll never believe it. This burly gum tastes just like chopping wood. The flavor of the brute force, it takes us with timber, with hints of checkered flannel and tree. It's a new Stride Mega Mystery.
New Stride Mega Mystery may or may not taste like chopping wood.
We didn't know what to believe. There were 7 of them. We shot them all in one day.
New Stride Mega Mystery is the world's first Delaware flavored gum.
People did like them. Some people got annoyed with how many we put, but we definitely made an impression. The client was very happy. We had a lot of fun.
This commercial goes off the main road to sell a razor blade with the punchline, hair off my stuff. Literally. A little out of the ordinary, but great for being bold without being politically incorrect. Wilkinson Sword, hair off my stuff.
There's a product on the market, it's a men's shaver. It's a razor on one side and a trimmer on the other side.
For the first time ever, men can tidy up manscaping all over their bodies.
They took a big risk actually, which they gave us the majority of their budget to do something online, which we thought was fantastic because it gave us a little bit of flexibility. We could it didn't have to be a 30-second commercial like the traditional way on television. We could actually make a film, which is what we ended up doing.
They found this unique place where they could talk about intimate areas, talking in euphemism about kind of shaving down there.
So stuff is everything in English, my pen's part of my stuff and my shoes are my stuff and my other parts of my stuff. So the idea was, how do you get the hair off your stuff?
Men having hair on their stuff, it's a universal problem. So we wanted to tell the story of not one, but a sample of men, 3 guys who wanted to desperately get the hair off their stuff. Sometimes they're ashamed of their stuff, sometimes they're proud of their stuff, sometimes they don't care about their stuff.
There's a guy who's young, who doesn't even realize his stuff is hairy. Then there's the guy who's aware of the fact that he's hairy but covers up his stuff. And then there's eventually the man who finds a woman who loves him despite the fact that he has hair on his stuff. This film went out as a viral video that got shared around, which directed people to a website called hairoffmystuff.com.